Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by the Liberty Times, the Japanese government is evaluating plans to develop and introduce attack-capable unmanned submarines, UUVs, and establish an Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, over the Ogasawara Islands. These measures, aimed at strengthening defense deployments in the Pacific, are a response to China's expanding maritime activities, which have exposed gaps in Japan's Pacific defenses. Under the proposed initiative, which Japan plans to include in its revised 3 security documents this year, the government also intends to deploy warning and control radars on Kitadaito Island in Okinawa and the Ogasawara Islands. Additionally, Japan is looking to reinforce the runway at Iwo Jima to ensure stable fighter jet operations. The proposed unmanned submarines are expected to carry torpedoes or mines, navigate long distances for extended periods, and potentially utilize artificial intelligence for autonomous operations. These UUVs would be integrated with manned destroyers, submarines, and missile-equipped unmanned surface vessels to maintain a defensive advantage in the Pacific. However, analysts note that these defense upgrades could further escalate tensions between Japan and China. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, Manuel Adorni, the chief of the cabinet of ministers of Argentina and a close ally of President Javier Milei, has announced his resignation amid a growing corruption scandal. In his resignation letter to the president on June 27, the 46-year-old Adorni stated that he was stepping down with a clear conscience, despite going against the president's wishes for the first time. Adorni's resignation follows intense scrutiny over his lavish lifestyle. He was recently accused by lawmakers of illicit enrichment after being spotted vacationing on private jets and owning luxury properties and vehicles that did not align with his declared income. On June 11th, Adorni admitted to making an unintentional mistake by hiding more than $500,000 in income from tax authorities, promising to pay the necessary penalties. In addition to the financial scandal, media reports suggest that ongoing friction between Adorni and the president's sister, General Secretary of the Presidency, Karina Milei, also contributed to his decision to resign. The Argentine government has not yet announced a successor for the position. According to iFeng, DeepSeek, in collaboration with a team from Peking University, has released a paper introducing DSpark, a new inference acceleration framework for large language models, LLMs. DSpark utilizes a semi-autoregressive architecture combined with confidence, scheduled verification to solve the latency issues of traditional autoregressive generation. In actual online production systems, DSpark has replaced the previous MTP-1 scheme. It has successfully boosted the single user generation speed of DeepSeek v4 Flash Preview by 60% to 85% and DeepSeek v4 Pro Preview by 57% to 78% under identical system throughput. This framework addresses the succus decay common in parallel draft models by incorporating a lightweight sequential module to ensure grammatical coherence. Additionally, its hardware-aware prefix scheduler dynamically adjusts verification budgets based on real-time system load and token confidence scores. True to its commitment to open science, DeepSeek has open-sourced the DSpark model checkpoints for both Flash and Pro models, alongside DeepSpec, a code repository dedicated to speculative decoding. This release marks a significant step forward in making high-speed, cost-effective LLM deployment accessible to the entire AI industry. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, Lebanese President Michel Aoun held a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday to discuss the implementation of the newly reached trilateral framework agreement between Lebanon, Israel, and the United States. During the call, President Aoun committed Lebanon to its responsibilities under the agreement but requested U.S. assistance in preventing violations and ensuring all commitments are met. Specifically, he urged the U.S. to press Israel to withdraw its forces from occupied southern Lebanon, allowing the Lebanese army to deploy along the internationally recognized border. In response, President Trump reaffirmed the United States' support for Lebanon's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. He also promised commitment to the agreement's implementation to restore security and stability in the region, adding that he looks forward to meeting President Aoun in Washington soon. The framework agreement, finalized on Friday, sets a clear path for dismantling Hezbollah's infrastructure. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced that the U.S. will lead a military working group and allocate $130 million to support the Lebanese military and provide humanitarian aid. According to a report by Leon Hizalbau, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced on June 27 that he hopes to form a broad coalition government following the general elections scheduled for October this year. Netanyahu stated that establishing a broad coalition is far better than forming a left-wing government that depends on Arab parties. He emphasized that he would not boycott anyone and that everyone is welcome to join, but set a key prerequisite for joining the alliance: blocking the establishment of a Palestinian state. Netanyahu currently leads a narrow coalition of far-right and ultra-Orthodox parties. Recent polls suggest his current coalition would secure at most 53 seats in the 120-member parliament, which is insufficient to form a majority. Meanwhile, the opposition Yashar Party, led by former Army Chief Gadi Eisenkot, criticized Netanyahu's call for unity. Eisenkot called it hypocritical, accusing Netanyahu of leading the country to historic lows, inciting division, and encouraging ultra-Orthodox draft evasion. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.